check my messages, and so the meeting was canceled, but I didn't check my messages, and that was due to my internet being out, and my internet is back, so haven't been on my phone to check my messages. And so I'm sitting here just in my car, and I'm going, okay, what's the next thing? Should I go home and then come back? And here's the thing. I don't want to go home because I have a 8 o'clock meeting right here. So if I go home, even though I got here for 6, if I go home, then it's gonna take me about half an hour to get home, another half an hour to get back. That's 7, and then guess what? I have to jump in for my 8 o'clock meeting. So I just decided to stay here. But while I'm here, this thought came to me, my emotions and my feelings, and I decided to share this with you live on YouTube. Now, I have not been on YouTube posting like I normally post. And let me take this hat off so you can see my face here. I know I'm in the car. Yeah, so I haven't been on YouTube because I've been busy. I've been busy with life. I've been busy lifing. My daughter will say lifing. I've been busy lifing. And the reason for that is like my mind and everything in me is focused. It's focused on the Creator, who we are as a people. As you can see, I'm wearing my Tata Pot today. Who we are as a people, the prophecies, and everything that is happening in and around the world, but everything that's going to happen to Babylon as well. So we've been focused. We've also been focused on the things that are happening to us as a people here in the Philippines. And, you know, we going through that as well. But at the end of the day, we're looking into the future, which is now. The future is now. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Tomorrow never really comes. Because when tomorrow arrives, it's no longer tomorrow, it's actually today. So when tomorrow arrives, it's today. So the future is right now. The future is what you do right now. You know, you can prepare for the future by thinking the right thoughts, by carrying out the right actions. And it all starts right here in the mind. It all starts with your belief system. How you believe, how do you see yourself? It starts with the words you say to yourself, the things you hold on your mind. That's why most people today, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, most people today live their yesterday. Most people today live their yesterday. What do I mean by that? The past is running your lives, ladies and gentlemen. The past is running your life. You're living your today because of your yesterday. Now, I understand what I'm trying to say here. What I'm trying to say here will make sense to you in a minute. You just got to stay with me. Stick with this. Your past does not shape your future, because your yesterday does not dictate the victories of your today. So your past does not shape your future. It is your today that shapes your future. You only can learn from yesterday. You cannot change your past. You cannot change your past. You can't do anything about your past, and you can't make any correction about your past. That is why it's in the past. But your today, you can do everything about your today. And how you do this, ladies and gentlemen, is if you are strong enough in here, in your mind, because guess what? Whatever you perceive is breakdown into feelings and emotions. And most people are being run by their feelings and their emotions. So your feelings and your emotions today is what is preparing you for your tomorrow or your future. How do you see yourself? What are the words that you said to yourself? What are the words you say to yourself? Right? What are the words you say to yourself? What are your belief system? What is your belief system? What are your future like? What is your future like? Now, someone will say, well, my future is tomorrow. Tomorrow's not here. But do you know that your future is now? And your future is based upon what you do now. So the big logical question to ask is, what are you doing now? What are you doing now to have a brighter tomorrow? Now, nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. Nobody. We don't know. We don't know the day nor the hour when our life can be changed for eternity, where our life can be changed for good, whether it be in the right direction in which we plan or in the negative or wrong direction. So how do you live your today? One scholar says you live today like there's no tomorrow. Then how do you do that? How do you live today like there's no tomorrow? Because guess what? Tomorrow's in the future, and you don't know if you're actually going to see tomorrow. All right, I got some questions coming in here, and I definitely want to get to these questions here. Ahmed said, how are you? I'm doing good, man. I am doing very well. Thank you for asking, Ahmed. I appreciate you, man. Hi. Let me see. That's one of the messages that came in here. Let me see if I can see any more. Let's see. It said coming into filtration. Yeah, that's the one I see here. All right. I'm doing very, very well. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. I just haven't been on my YouTube channel for a while because I'm focusing on my today. You know what I mean? I've been focusing on my today, but I'm actually going to get back on here and just really, really get busy with my uploading and so on and so forth. But like I said, I'm really busy setting my future today. And my future today is based on how I'm thinking and my belief system. If you are a follower of my channel, you will see that Now Living in the Philippines was created about 1.5 years ago. I created this channel for one purpose and one purpose only. It was to share with OMPP and share with my viewers how I'm living in the Philippines. Now, how did I end up in the Philippines and want to share this information is based upon my belief system. I have a belief system. I believe that the creator of the heavens and the earth, his name is Yahweh. I believe that in my heart, with all my heart. And because I was searching for his name, and the name was given to me by the creator, led me to a ravenous bird, a prophet from within our nation, a prophet from amongst our people, who speaks the word of Yahweh in the language we once had, the language we once lost. And I say once lost because now we have it again. We have the language again. We have the scripture in the language it was originally written in. All right. And so because we have this now, we can now focus on what was really said, how it was said, and we will know it and read it in the language of our ancestors. All right. So now we're reading the Bible and we're getting full understanding of who we are as a people. And so what we learn from really reading the Bible is that the creator's name is Yahweh. That's the creator's name. The Mashiach, our so-called Messiah, his name is not Jesus like we grew up to believe, but his actual name is Yahoshua. Yahoshua. That's in our language. We find out that we are the people of the book. We are the people of the book. If you can trace your lineage through the transatlantic slave trade, if you can trace your lineage through the transatlantic slave trade, then you are OMPP, only Middle Passage people, which means you are the true sons and daughters of the covenant promise of Yahweh through Abram. That's serious. That's deep right there. That is deep. So now believing in this system and believing in and understanding who I am as a people, and where we are supposed to be located, where we are supposed to be. That is why I'm now living in the Philippines, because I believe that the Philippines, believe it or not, accept it or not, want it or not, the Philippines is the birthplace of humanity. This is where humanity started. People think it's in Africa, because we were led to believe through the Darwinian system theory that the birthplace of humanity is in Africa, the motherland. No, it's not. The birthplace of humanity is in the Philippines. And so we're here not because we just choose an island and decide we want to come here and live. We're here because through the word of the Creator, by the prophet Isaiah, whose actual name is Yeshayahu, aka Isaiah, we've learned that this is the place that we are to. This is the place, the wilderness, where the Creator will renew us back to the status we once were. And so what does that mean? It means that we are called by his name, and our name is Yahosha'al, Prince with Yahweh. That's our name. We carry the covenant of the Creator not only in our minds, because we believe and accept, but we carry it in our flesh. We carry the Creator's covenant in our flesh. Not only in our flesh, but we carry it in the day of worship, the day we worship, which is the Shabbat day, which is actually from Saturday sunrise to Sunday sunrise. So we're the only one on the planet that is actually keeping the true Shabbat day. Everyone that believes that there is a Shabbat and they keep that day, they're keeping it incorrectly, are not at the right time. I used to keep the Shabbat from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. And in my era is why I kept that, because I didn't know any better. But now I know better. Now I understand. Now I have the truth. And so when you have the truth, you have to live the truth. And this is why I said, ladies and gentlemen, your emotions, because truth is also, truth triggers emotions. Truth triggers feelings, and in with those emotions and with those feelings, you ride like a wave in the ocean. With those emotions and with those feelings, you stretch like a rubber band. And the question is, how high can your wave go before it crashes? How far can you stretch a rubber band before it bursts? Right? So in my mind and in my belief system, I know that this truth of mine led me to give up my life as it was. I gave up my life. And what that mean? I gave up everything. The Messiah once said, and you cannot enter the kingdom. You cannot enter the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of God, unless you're first willing to give up everything you have. And so I did. I gave up everything I had. I say goodbye to my family and friends, sold our house, got rid of my business, liquidated everything, and moved to this beautiful, wonderful, did I say beautiful? Wonderful. Did I say beautiful and wonderful? Beautiful, wonderful country of the Philippines. And I love it here. I love the Philippines. This is my home. I love it. This is my home for the next 97 years. Because this is the place where the Creator commands us to gather. And we're here for one purpose and one purpose only: to find the truth, to live the truth about who he is as our Creator and who we are as his people. We're not here for no other purpose than that, to know who he is and to know who we are. And during that time, you're going to know who he is and who we are. You're going to know who we are, because you're going to see that we're calling upon the name Yahweh. You're going to see the prophecies that we're predicting that will happen. You ever find it strange that so much disasters are happening all over the world, seems like at the same time? Well, we know this to be true. We understand this because prophecy teaches us. The Messiah himself tells us. The Messiah himself tells us that in the last days, in these days of the vengeance of Yahweh, there'll be earthquake in diverse places. Nations will rise against nation, kingdoms against kingdoms. There'll be famine and pestilence in diverse places. And look at it. We have the pestilence that shuts down the world. A virus, freaking rust that shuts the world and resets the world in 2019, 2020. Then we have all these earthquakes and tsunamis that are happening. Wildfires all over the world. Prices are plummeting, are rising. People are dying. And it's going to get worse, ladies and gentlemen. And these are something that we know in advance that's going to happen. And so we strategically place ourselves here under the commandments of Yahweh to be in the Philippines to watch this happen. And so that his name will be great in the earth, and you will know that we are the true Hebrews, the true people. And when that time comes, ladies and gentlemen, you can't say I didn't tell you. You can't say I didn't know. You didn't know. Because I'm telling you, the Ravenous Bird is telling you. You want more on this? Go check out the Ravenous Bird on YouTube. The Ravenous Bird on YouTube. And look up True Names of the Creator. Look up Leave on Wings. Look up Brought by Ships. Look up Keep Silent Before Me Islands. Look those things up and you're going to see what I'm talking about. Because he explained everything there with diagrams, with graph, everything. You'll be able to see it. You'll be able to understand it. Go look up the Ravenous Bird on YouTube. And I'm telling you, you're going to have information and insight that most people don't have. So, before I go in the next couple of minutes, I want to just encourage you about your emotions and how it can run and lead your lives. Your yesterday is gone, man. Whatever you did yesterday, whether it be good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, it's yesterday. And the only way your yesterday can show itself is if you bring your yesterday today into your today. If you bring your yesterday into your today, then you're going to live yesterday today. And if you're living yesterday today, you're not preparing yourself for tomorrow. You got to put things behind you. You got to leave the past in the past. The only thing you need to do with the past is learn from it. You got to learn from it. You got to learn from your past. That's the only thing it's there for. It's for you to learn from it, learn the do's and don'ts of it. I did this was the result. I said this was the result. I act out this way, and this was the result. Learn from it. Learn not to do those same things you did yesterday. Learn not to behave the way you behaved yesterday. Learn not to act the way you act yesterday. Learn to tell yourself and place in your mind the positive things. Like, for instance, your wordplay. What's coming out of your mouth? What is coming out of your mouth? I can't. I'll try. I wish. You know that these words, I can't, I'll try, I wish, are negative words and have negative connotation on the mind, on the subconscious mind? Are you a person who's always saying, I can't, I'll try, I wish? All right, watch this. If that's your vocabulary, if these are the words that you're placing in your mind, based upon your yesterday, based upon your today, based upon the fact that you're not sure, you're not confident, then guess what you're doing? You're preparing yourself for not accomplishing that which you set out to accomplish today. Because if you say I can't, what are you doing? What are you saying to your subconscious mind? What are you saying to yourself? It won't happen. No matter what you do, no matter how you do it, if you keep telling yourself you can't, it's not gonna happen, because you already block the neurotransmitter of the mind. Because listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, look around you. Everything the eyes can see, everything the eyes can see, everything, listen to me, everything the eyes can see happens in the mind. Starts, begins in the mind. Did you know that? Everything, ladies and gentlemen, everything the eyes can see happens in the mind. Everything. Somebody thought about it. The glasses I'm wearing, somebody thought about it. The transition to come light and dark, somebody thought about it. Everything, this clothes I'm wearing, somebody thought about it. The way my beard looked, the way I shaped it up, I thought about it, and I did it. Everything you do starts in your mind. So if you're programming your mind with the word I can't, what do you think you're doing to yourself? You'll never accomplish that which you say you can do if I can't is in your subconscious mind. What about I'll try? I'll try to be there on time. I'll try to make this happen. I'll try to come. I'll try. You know what you're doing? You know what you're doing subconsciously when you tell yourself you'll try? You're already subconsciously said, making excuses. You're already subconsciously making excuses. Now, what is the excuse you're making? If I try it and I fail, I've already told you that I'll try. Then guess what? When you fail, because you will fail, when you fail, that's why a wise man once says, nothing beats a trial but a failure, right? Nothing beats a trial but a failure. So what's going to dominate you? A failure. And when you fail, you give yourself that excuse. You give the folks or whoever you're trying the excuse that you will fail, and that when you fail, you're looking for pardon. Because when you say you're trying, you're looking for a way out. What about I wish? I wish I could win the lottery. I wish I can this. You know how many friends of mine say these words to me? I wish, man, I had this money. I wish I could win the lottery. And then I ask those very same friends, are you playing the lottery? And guess what they said? No. How are you going to win if you're not in the game? How are you going to win if you're sitting in the bleachers? How are you going to win if you don't bet on the game, if you don't bet on the team? In other words, what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, is if you're not acting out your belief system, then your belief system is a movie. It's a lovely song. You hear it, it sounds good. It moves your emotion, it moves your feeling. That's why they call it a movie, you know that? Because it moves your emotion and stirs up and down. But nothing happened at the end. You just go away feeling good, and then it just wear off to the next movie moves you. Is your life a movie? Or is your life a reality? Your reality can only happen if you make it happen. And let me prove that to you. What are you wearing right now? Whatever you're wearing, pants, shirt, shoes, I can guarantee you, if you're watching this, you have more clothes, more shirts you could have worn. You have more pants you could have worn. You got more slippers or sandals that you could have worn. But you chose to wear the clothes you're wearing now. When you go into your closet, or you go into your basket, or wherever you keep your clothes, you choose the one you want to wear. out of the many you have. Maybe you don't have much. Maybe you only have one. Maybe you only have two. And maybe you're in a situation where it's just, this is your reality. And everybody's reality is different, right? Everybody's reality is different. Maybe in your closet, you only have one clothes. And you don't have a choice there. You may not have a choice there. But guess what? You have that clothes to wear. And so how the clothes look is based upon how you take care of that clothes. So now, if you only have one clothes to wear, what do? You wear it, you come back early, you wash it, you hang it out to dry, you wear it again. If that's your situation, I mean, come on. If that's your situation, that's your situation. And you can sit down and you can complain and you can belittle yourself and you can wish and you can get upset. Your reality is your reality and you have to face that. But your reality doesn't have to be always that way. You can make a difference. What can I do? How can I do it? Who can I speak to? Maybe the power is not yours. Maybe the power is not yours. And what I mean is, like, to change your reality, maybe you need help. Maybe you need help. Maybe you need someone like Maker R telling you some things so you can do some things. Maybe you need a person who may have two shirts that can give you one. But if you don't open your mouth, they say closed mouth doesn't get fed. Closed mouth doesn't get fed. So if you're holding your mouth because you're prideful, then guess what's going to happen? You may just stay in that one clothes forever. But what if you just say, hey man, I only have one shirt. Can you help me find a way to get another? Next thing you know, the person say, hey man, you over there, I know this person have a job over here. And maybe you could get a job and that person will give you a job and then you get your paycheck and you can buy two shirts. Or maybe that person will say, hey man, I'm glad you said something, because guess what? I was just getting ready to get rid of some of these clothes that I have. What I'm saying is your reality comes from your thoughts. And your thoughts can only come into existence. Your thoughts and your reality here is in your mind. It's in the supernatural realm. This is where the supernatural realm happened. This is the invisible supernatural realm is in your mind. Now, to get it out of the supernatural into the natural, into the physical, it has to come out somehow. And how does it come out? Well, how am I encouraging you right now? Through my mouth. You have not because you've asked not. You've asked not, so you have nothing. So you gotta ask. You gotta ask for help. And the first place you need to ask is the Creator. You need to go to Yahweh and ask him for help. Hey, I need your help here. Because he's the author of all life and he will give you that which you need. So you gotta ask. And he may send you to someone, or maybe he may send someone to you. Right? So you gotta ask. That's the first thing. So it comes out of your supernatural. And if it's in your supernatural, if it's in your mind, how did it get there in the first place? Who programmed that into your mind? Who programmed that into your mind? Was it programmed by your circumstances? Was it programmed by your lineage, your ancestors? Was it programmed by the things you watch, the things you listen to, the company you keep? Or is it programmed by the Creator himself? Whichever and whatever it is that programs your mind, ladies and gentlemen. And whatever comes out of your mouth, because you see, out of the overflow of the heart, the mind right here, when the mind is full, the mouth speaks. So it's going to come out into this world. It's also going to come out into this world through your attitude. Oh my gosh, if I can't say anything else to you, your attitude is golden. It's a moral indicator. Your attitude is everything. Listen to me. Attitude is everything. You can look at your life and you can say, man, I hate my life. I hate this. And you can blame this, that, or the other. And yes, you might be right. It could be their fault. It could be that person's fault. It could be your community's fault. It could be your ancestors' fault. It could be your company that you keep's fault. It could be anybody's fault. But it doesn't matter whose fault it is. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. It is your reality. And the only way to change your reality is if you decide to change who you are in here. So whatever your program is, you can reprogram yourself. Did you know that you can reprogram yourself? Because you've been programmed every day. You're being programmed by what you watch, the things you look at, the things you hear, the things you see, your community, your elders, your friends, your neighbors, your school, your government. You're programmed every day. The question is, what is your reality going to be like? Because if you look in your neighborhood, as poor as your neighborhood might be, somebody in your neighborhood is doing good. Somebody in your neighborhood is doing good, no matter how poor it is, no matter how devastated your situation is. If you look to the left and look to the right, somebody's doing better than you. And so you have to ask your question, what is it about that person? And why is that person able to do this, but I can't? See? The word, but I can't. See? So no, it's what you program yourself. So now, instead of saying, I can't, what is it about this person that I can do? That I will do? And sometimes you may have to go ask them, hey man, what do you do? You know, when people ask you, what do you do for a living? They're sizing you up to see whether or not you're a good company to keep. What do you do for a living? You know what I tell people when they ask me, what do you do for a living? I tell them I'm a garbage man. I tell them I clean dog shit on the side of the road. And they laugh, because I always have to make people laugh, especially when they think I'm crazy. But you know what I do? You know what I really do? I'm a priest of Yahweh. I'm Maker Alban Aaron, a Levite. That's who I am. I'm a priest of Yahweh. That's what I do for a living. I live to serve the Creator, and I live to serve His people. That's what I do. I'm a priest. And so everything in my mind is geared on that. Nothing else matters to me. Nothing else matters. What matters is I'm right with the Creator, and I'm serving His people. That's what matters to me. So you can change your circumstance by simply changing your mind. Change your mind and you'll change your life. And you can start right now. You can start today. In this car, I kind of make me a little dark, but hey, please forgive me on that. Change your thinking, change your thought. Take it out of the supernatural into the natural by speaking it into the existence. Now, you know, you will hear pastors say this all the time. Pastors and preachers talk about speak your truth, speak this in, but it's exploiting you. Because though they're telling you to speak truth into your life, what are they asking you for? Your money, your tithes, your offerings. And do they anytime ever give back to you your tithes and offerings? Do you know that your tithes and your offerings is supposed to be given to you? If you read Torah, or Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 14, choose Deuteronomy 5, 14 through 20. You can even start at 22. 22 through, say, 28. You'll see what your tithes are supposed to be doing. But most people take their tithes and give it to a church, and the church take your tithes, and yes, they pay some of the bills in the church, but where do your tithes go? Do you really know where your tithes go? Where's your tithes? And they say, oh, it's a church fund, and they're waiting to build this church, and they can't build this church. No drawings, no nothing. And they're telling you that your money is going to build a church. But when you look at the pastor, he drives the nicest car. Do you ever wonder why your pastors don't live in the neighborhood they pastors? You ever wonder why? Well, one, they don't want you coming to their house. That's number one. Number two, they don't want you to see their lifestyle. They don't want you to see that the children go to the best schools, drive the best cars, they eat the best foods while you're starving. They don't want you to see that. Because if you see that, then you question the money. Does the church give you an account for where the money is? Does the church give an account for how much money is in the treasury? And if they have all this money in the treasury, why are they not feeding the people? Why are they not paying some bills? Why are they not setting up college tuitions for your children? Why are they not setting up classes for you to learn a skill to be able to feed yourself? Why are they not giving back to you? You don't know this creator. The creator, listen to me. The creator is all about loving his people. It's all about loving his people. That's why he says when your brother sinned against you, you must forgive him. Right? That if you come and give your gifts at the altar and you remember that your brother sinned against you, you must go reconcile to your brother. And the Messiah teaches, if anyone have 2 apples, must give one to the one has none. What do you think he's telling you? He's teaching you. When you go to Isaiah, if you go to Isaiah 58 in the Bible, and you look at fasting, we fast so we can spend on ourselves, right? But if you look at what the fasting that he actually accepts, and he spelled it out there in Isaiah 58. He spells it right out. It's what? Take care of the needy. Give food to the hunger. When you see the hungry, when you see the naked, clothe them. This is the fast he accepts. The fast he accepts is to loose the bond of injustice amongst your fellow man. You have money. You got 5 shirts. You got some shirts that can't fit you. And you keep them. You say, I'm gonna lose some weight. You done got overweight. Those clothes can't fit you no more, and you keep those clothes in your closet because you're hoping to lose weight so you can fit them again. But your brother needs some clothes, and you have some clothes and you can't give him. You got extra food in your refrigerator. You got extra food in your cupboard, but you're storing it up for yourself. But your brother's hungry. Or what about you driving down the road and you see your brother walking? You wouldn't even pull over and say, hey man, where you heading? Let me give you a ride. These are the kind of things that you have to understand will change your reality. When your heart is for your brothers, when your heart is for Yahweh, then you will show love unto your brothers. And when you start doing these things, he's going to make your cup so full, you're not going to have room for it. That's what it means to bring your tithes and offerings into the storehouse. What is that for? So that you can store it up to prove him there. How do you prove that the Creator is there? It's through your love for your fellow man. That's how you prove he's there. Because that tithe and offering goes to what? It goes to his priest. Remember now, the priest does not have an inheritance, so it goes to the priest so they can continue to work in the sanctuary. It goes to the widows because they don't have no husband to take care of them. It goes to the fatherless because they don't have no fathers to take care of them. It goes to the homeless. It goes to the broke because they don't got no money. And not to enable anyone, but to put them in a position where they can help. Why do you think we cancel debt every 7 years? Why do you think we let a servant go free every 7 years? Because the Creator don't want you to have bondage. Why do you think we don't collect interest when we loan money? Because interest trap you. It keeps you in a debt. And anytime you're in a debt, ladies and gentlemen, you're not free. So these are the things. So as I close here, I want you to start speaking affirmation into your life. I can, I will. Start with those words, man. I can do this. I will get this. This will happen. And I am here to tell you that I am a living example of that. I remember when I was destitute, man, living in the basement of a friend's house. It was moldy and horrible. And the Creator took me out of that basement into a trailer. And I was the happiest man ever. Because one, I had my own space. And that little trailer was so comfortable and it was mine. It was my space. I didn't have to share a space. I didn't have to share a bathroom. It was mine. It was beautiful. And from that trailer, he put me into an apartment building, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. I love that. I stayed in the trailer for 2 years. I stayed in the basement for 5 months. That was one of the lowest part of my life. Living in somebody's basement, don't have money for food, don't have money for clothes, don't have money for nothing. Couldn't pay my car insurance, nothing. But he never let me go hungry. He never let me go clothesless. He never let me not able to pay it. Somehow, some way it was paid. I lived in that basement for 5 months, and he taught me some things. He was the one, the creator was the one who put me in that basement. You're in a situation, it could be, yes, it could be you're in a situation because of your own actions. And if you're in a situation because of your own actions, because the creator wants you to learn something, and he will not remove you out of that situation until you learn the lesson that he puts you in that situation to learn. Right? And so what I've learned in that basement is how to manage money. I learned that in the basement. I learned how to manage to manage money. And one of the things that I learned there too is this. Watch this. I learned how to manage money. And I learned how to say to myself, I will never go into that basement again. I'll never go into that basement again. You see, I will never go into that basement again. I learned these things. And once I learned these things, I put that into action. And then once I get into the trailer, I had to put that now into action. Everything that I learned, I had to put it into action. I had to put that into action. So what I learned, how to manage money, go into the trailer, and how to pay my bills on time. And one thing I've learned is, when you're working paycheck to paycheck, that means every paycheck you're getting a paycheck. Every week you're getting a paycheck, or every 2 weeks you're getting a paycheck. I've learned not to just spend that money every time I get paid. So you pay, and the first thing you pay this bill, you do this, and then by the beginning of the next week, you just have just enough money to get you to work. Can't buy nothing. And you get your next check and you do it again. And you get your next check and you do it again. So you live in a pauper's mindset, because as soon as you get the money, guess what you do? You spend it. So what I learned in the basement, ladies and gentlemen, I learned to not spend the money immediately, to take that first paycheck and save it. Don't pay no bills. Just the necessary things that you need, like the food and maybe the gas for the car and stuff like that. Then I get the second paycheck. Guess what I do? I save that. I get the third paycheck. Guess what I do? I save that. And I get the fourth paycheck. And guess what I do? I save that. And I only pay the bills at the end of the month. So even if the bill is due, I don't pay it. Even if the bill is due, I do not pay it. Because guess what? I needed to see my money. I need to see where my money is going. I need to be accountable. I need to give an account for every dime I was making. And so at the end of the month, I got $3,000, or I got $2,000, or I got $1,400. And at the end of the month, I had $1,400. That's what my paycheck was. $1,400, $1,400 US. My rent was $800. So how much I have left? $600. My light and my phone bill. All right. You see, I was able to see it. And yes, some months I couldn't pay all the bills, but I know where every dime was. And what that did, it opened up my reality. Man, I need to make more money. Most of you will be like, man, I need to cut back, man. I need to get me a smaller place. Instead of paying $800 for my apartment, I need to find a place for $600, or I need to find a place for $300. And so you decapitate yourself and you go into these places where you know you don't want to be. But guess what? If that's what you have to do, then that's what you have to do. I'm not saying this is a formula for you. I'm telling you what worked for me. So what I realized is that instead of cutting back and said, okay, I need to get a smaller place and for cheaper place, I said to myself, I need to make more money. I need to make more money. That's the first thing I told myself. And so what that does, it empowers me. It empowers me, ladies and gentlemen. You see what I'm saying? It empowers me to grow. It empowers me to grow in my thoughts, grow in my attitude, grow in my action. I need to make more money. And of course, I made more money. I did what I had to do to make more money. And once I start making more money and everything start coming, now I know how to manage my money, because now I budget my spending. I don't just go spend on what I want this, and go spend on that. I budget my money. I know I could see where, because I was trained into not spending my money every week, but spend it only on the month. I budget my money. Right? And as I budget my money, I am able to see it, where it's going, and now I have a budget of my life. And so when I start making more money, the extra money wasn't, oh, let's go party, oh, let's go buy this jewelry, oh, let's go buy a new car. Oh, no. I saved that money. Because here's what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to be a beggar. I didn't want to be a pauper. I didn't want to be looking for handout. So I saved that money. And from there, ladies and gentlemen, I start to get my credit back online, because I wanted to buy a house. So I started my credit I started to use that money that I'm saving to fix my credit. And once I fixed my credit, took me about a year to fix my credit. Once I paid off everything and I fixed my credit, then I was in line to get a loan. Then I got a loan. Long story short, I bought a house. So I came from the basement. I came from the basement to the trailer, to an apartment, to a 4,000 square foot house. You understand what I'm saying? All right then. Okay then. So, and why? My experience and my mindset. My experience and my mindset change my outcome. I think it, I speak it, and I act upon it. And that's how my life has changed. And everything I have done is that. Everything that I have done led me to this point in my life today. So, can you change your life? Yes, you can. Can you change your circumstances? Yes, you can. But it starts with your emotions and your feelings. So, shalom. That's all I have for you. Until next time, guys. Until next time, I'm Maker Alban Aaron, and I'm going to get back on track with posting. Just please bear up with me. I'm getting back on track. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys a lot, man. Until next time, peace out.